Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to discuss about another very important topic related to ngClass directive, where we will see how to utilize ngClass directive in order to apply both dynamic and static CSS, or you can say how to apply both dynamic and static CSS classes. Okay, so this session this is what we are going to learn in this particular session. But before we proceed further, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to use ngClass directive for static and dynamic classes. Okay, alright, so let's get started, and we are going to proceed in the very same way. Firstly, I'll explain you the requirement, then we will talk about the modules and the prerequisites variable, and post that we are going to create the example from scratch, and we will also verify the output in the end. Okay, so we will go to app.component.ts file. Here you can see one section is there where we can import the modules, and for ngClass directive we will use the module that is common module. So here I will write common module. So once we write this common module here, it will automatically add line number 1. That means now you are good to use the common module. Now after this common module, what we are going to do, for sure we need some variables, but at this time we are not going to declare any variable. Firstly, we will write the HTML code, and then as per the logic we will define the variables here. Okay, alright, so let's go to app.component.html file. Here you can see one heading is already coming, Angular directives by demo by Tech Sharmit. So we will add the secondary heading, which is H2, and this is not mandatory thing, this is just for your introduction purpose, so that you can relate the things like what we are going to learn and how we are learning it. Okay, so here I will write static and dynamic classes using ngClass directive. Okay, so this is the topic. Now to implement this thing, we need one element. You can either apply the CSS directly here, but it's better to use some paragraph so that you can easily see the impact of that classes. Okay, so we will add one paragraph here, and here we can put some sample data. So we can write this is the paragraph. This is the paragraph section where we will apply both. Then after this I will put br tag to change the line, and here we will write both static and dynamic classes using ngClass directive. So this is just a sample data that we have created here, and this is the sample data that we have created for the demo purpose. Okay, so when you actually run this code, it will show only these three things as of now, because we have not applied any classes yet, but when you apply the classes, it will show the properties that are added in that particular class. Okay, so before that, let's run this application and see the output. So ng serve -- open, enter. It will wait for a few seconds, and then it will show the output, which is coming like this. So here you can see we have one heading, Angular directives demo by Tech Sharmit. Then we have secondary, which is a static and dynamic class using ngClass directive, and then we have the paragraph where we want to apply the properties. Okay, now the requirement is that firstly, there are few properties that I'm sure that I'm going to use for all cases for every time. Okay, so that thing we can consider as a static class. Okay, so what we will do, firstly we will create that static class, we will put all those properties in that static class, and after that, as per the condition, we will also apply some properties that would be considered as a dynamic class. So for that, what we will do, we will go to app.component.ts file, not ts file, we will go to css file. In app.component.css file, we will simply add one dot for the class, and here I will write always class. Okay, always class. So this is just a meaningful name so that others can easily relate that this class will be applicable always. And here in this always class, I will apply like things like border. Okay, because we know that border we need. So here I will write 5 pixel solid black. Perfect. Okay, so that means this is added. Now we will also add the font size. So we will write here font size, where we will add the size, let's say 50 pixel. Perfect. So these are the two things, these are the two properties that I always want to apply on my all type of elements. Wherever like I need, I will just simply add this thing. So to apply this static class, what we can do, we can simply go with a we can simply go to HTML file, and here in place of element where you want to apply it, just simply write class, and in class you will pass the always class. So this is the traditional way, right? We all know this thing. So this is called simple way, and now you can see this paragraph is coming with a 50 pixel size and the border of 5 pixel solid black. Okay, and same thing, like let's say if you want to apply this thing to heading also, so you can simply put here heading always class. Perfect. So you can see it is also coming on a heading. So this part is covering the static part. Let me remove it from now because we just want to show it to paragraph. So this thing is clear, that to apply the static thing you can simply write it like this. Now next thing is dynamic. So in case of dynamic, what I want to build a logic where if the value of status is true, or maybe active or inactive status, okay, so in that case, according to that, it should show the background color. So firstly we will create the required classes. So let's go to app.component.css file, and in this CSS file we will define one class, that is active class. So in active class, what we will do, we will add the background color as light green. Okay, and then we will create another class, that is inactive class. So in this inactive class we will keep the background color as red. Perfect. So these are the three classes that we will be using, where one class will be acting as a static class and another one will act as a dynamic class. Okay, so this part is ready. Now what next we will do, we will simply create some variable. On the basis of that variable we will use this class. So let's go to app.component.ts file. Here we will define one variable, that is active, which would be a boolean variable. Okay, and then we will use here value as false. For now we will keep it as false. Perfect. So this is ready. Now on the basis of this variable only we will define all the things. So let's go again to app.component.html. Here we will use ngClass. So I will simply write here ngClass. In this ngClass we will define the class, like firstly we will check is active, not like this. We will use the class name here, which is active class. Okay, and we want to apply this active class when is active. Okay, otherwise we will just give me a second. So otherwise what we will do, we will apply the next class. So basically we are checking here, we are just checking for the condition. If the condition satisfy the part, like we if the condition is satisfied, then it should work, otherwise it will move for the next part. So you need to put this parenthesis, and this is okay. Perfect. Now you can save and refresh the output. So right now you can see we are not getting any output. Why? Because this is not active. So if it is active, then active class will be implemented. So let's verify that. So in okay, let's write the complete logic and then we will see. And after that I'll do one more thing. Here I will write inactive class. So in case of inactive, it will look for is, let me put it in this like this, and then we will check not of is active. Perfect. Is something is wrong here? Did we use anything wrong? Yeah, colon. Perfect. So you can see now it is coming with a red color. Why? Because the TS file variable is holding the false value, and if it holds the true value, it will show the background color as green. Okay, so this is how we can utilize ngClass directive for applying both type of CSS classes, that is static class and dynamic class. So you can do the practice for this topic. If you have any question, queries or suggestion for this session, please let me know in the comment section. So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topic. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.